Conference, words matter. At the hairdresser recently, along with some nice highlights, I was served up some casual racism. Everyone in there loved what Boris had said. I pointed out how every woman of colour, whether she's wearing a niqab or not, is more likely to be abused on the street as a result. Calmly taking on the arguments worked. At least it made them think. After all the nightmares suffered by the Windrush people, after we've seen the 15,000 kids kept apart from one of their parents, how dare we adopt a policy paper that uses the word robust before humane and liberal? Words matter, and there are some things you never compromise on. We have a massive responsibility as Liberals to stand up for those who are under fire, and immigrants have been under fire a lot. Nigel Farage and the right-wing press have not been subtle these past decades as they've dripped poison. We will not counter that by being half-hearted and apologetic. We should never pander to those who scapegoat immigrants. Some think the earth is flat. We don't go and give them rope in case they fall off the edge. If that means that some people don't vote for us, then we'll just have to live with that, because there will be many more who will. We are living in hugely dangerous times. If we leave the European Union and the economy tanks, people are going to be angry. They'll be looking for someone else to blame. And there'll be plenty of powerful Brexiteers in search of scapegoats to take the heat off themselves. Workers, disabled people, women. If this is an indication of how we Liberal Democrats are going to protect these vulnerable groups, then we really do need to demand better. Don't get me wrong, there are some half-decent policies in there, but we need to do more than tinker at the edges. There are so many problems with this paper. If we believe love is equal, we should not make it impossible to live with the person you love if you are poor. A friend described how the border force turned up at their work and asked, if the migrant doesn't come in, would anybody notice? They shouldn't be dehumanising people like this, and there's not enough about reforming them in the paper. It costs £8,000 for a family of 5 to apply to stay here. Where are they going to find that if they're in a low or even moderately paid job, and then do it all again in a few years' time? A Dream Act could turn into a nightmare if we only give status to those who entered as children and deport their parents. Conference, even if you pass all the amendments today, this paper is not fit to be the policy of a generous-spirited Liberal Party, and it will not affect the change. If you pass the amendments, it won't affect the paper. Let's reject it and craft something else that we can be proud of. Let's demand better of ourselves and put liberty and human rights front and centre of our plans.
Thank you, Caron.